Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, enemies, and comrades, I hope you're doing well wherever you are. Karibu sana, karibu sana. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing good. Let me fix something real quick before I go in. Hold on. All right, we are Gucci. Let's get in the mix. Karibuni sana, karibu sana, karibu sana. I hope you're doing well this Sunday evening, night in Kenya. As you guys, especially if you're a Manchester United fan, I hope you're holding up well because I just saw you lost to Tottenham Spurs. Okay, so poleni sana for those of you who are avid soccer fans, okay? Especially the Man United fans. I feel your pain. I feel your pain. Chelsea fans, we are also there, but that's not what we are talking about today. Karibuni. Please. Make your way. I know it's Sunday. You're probably thinking about tomorrow. I have to go back to work. So I won't hold you today. We won't stay here for long. We'll just brush up upon a few things. But before I get started, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, friends, and comrades, you know the first order of business is to do what? Hit the like button. Like maramoja ata usiharibu wakati. Please, the first order of business is to like that video. Like the video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. If this is your first time, please subscribe. Make your way. Subscribe to the channel. We talk about Kenyan politics, or we talk about politics in general, even international politics as it relates to Kenya, okay? Insightful reviews on political news. Okay. Without keeping you here for long, as you can see the topic, we are going to see the aftermath. Just talk about the aftermath, what has been transpired since yesterday. The D-Day was yesterday when it was announced that the Djibouti candidate Yusuf Ali Mahmoud won the AUC chairperson position, beating Raila Odinga after we sent a battalion of members of parliament to Addis Ababa to offer support to Raila Odinga. Then we ended up losing. So today everyone is reacting. There's so much going on. People are making videos, and these MPs who are there are also making videos. They're reacting to whatever happened, to what transpired. So we are just going to review that and just wonder what went wrong. Why did Raila lose? Why? I mean, if you were to read the tweets by the government pro Raila supporters, of course, even in Kenya, there are people who are supporting Raila's bid, and there are people who are not supporting his bid. So get that clear. Majority of Kenyans did not support this because they felt like this was Ruto's appointment. It wasn't Kenya's appointment. Karibu sana shi. Karibu. Like the video, don't forget. Please, if you're joining us, even if you're watching from the background and you're not saying anything, please like the video at least and subscribe if you want to get more on this. So people are reacting, right? Lots of people are reacting. Of course, once it was announced, a few hours after it was announced that Raila Odinga lost, the Robert Alais started, Robert Alai and others started saying, I know you're being facetious here, but exactly, yes, this is what started. People started blaming Uhuru Kenyatta. Apparently, Uhuru Kenyatta was in Addis Ababa, and some people are saying, oh, Uhuru Kenyatta is behind this. He made some calls to make sure that Raila Odinga doesn't win. I'm not going to put that on Uhuru Kenyatta. And I do not see eye to eye with Uhuru Kenyatta when it comes to politics. I think his administration was one of the worst presidency we've ever seen. I mean, Ruto is trying to outdo him, okay? But he is no different. But I will not put that on Uhuru. It just can't. You cannot put this on one person. This is just a combination of things, okay? Combination of things, which we shall delve into a little bit, okay? I think we kind of talked about it yesterday, so I won't expound on that more because you already know. But there's one point I want to emphasize, okay? But before I start, there's so much happening in the international scene. Hey. For those of you who don't like Trump, hey, he is going to have a trilateral sit-down agreement with Putin and China. China and Russia and the US are going to sit down to actually figure a way how to stop the Ukrainian war and all this unnecessary war that has been happening in the world. Okay, so I think that's a positive thing. Unlike the Biden administration who are escalating things, sending money to Zelensky and trying to get Ukraine to attack Russia inside Russia after Russia, warned them not to do so, okay? It almost, forced Putin to finya ile kitu, that button, okay? The button that we dread so much, all right? But thank God, Putin, he hanged on and he never went. Of course, he sent some Urashnik. For those of you who don't know Urashnik, go Google. That stuff is not play. Mr. Green, I see you. Mr. or Miss Green, I don't know if you're Miss or Mr., but Karibu Sana, nice seeing you. Shi Mariam is saying, they're even wanting Baba not to join hands with Wamunyoro. So back to Kenyan politics as we, I had to just give that highlight about Trump. I think it's a positive move, the Ukrainian war, and, hopefully they can sort out that Gaza problem. The Palestinians should go back to Gaza and take back, just settle down. And the good news is Zelensky is not going to be invited in that talks, okay? Because they want to really, make sure that this whole war with Russia needs to stop, okay? Again, you can see the Western countries that are allied to the NATO are complaining. They're talking about, Europe is, why is the US turning their back into the NATO thing? They are conceding to Putin's demands. No. Putin was the good guy, actually. But anyway, we are not going to talk about it. We are not going to talk about this. We are going to talk about Mr. Raila Odinga's AU loss and the reaction from people. Now, there's a disturbing trend that's been going on that I need to talk about. I need to touch on. Okay, like I say, I won't hold you. I won't be here for long. I just want to touch on a couple of things that I think needs to be addressed, because if we keep on playing with this monster, it might turn deadly. Okay, so let me go ahead and read what Shi Mariam just wrote here. I say, even if it's true, Uhuru was not supposed to go. Just one call and pop. But what do you expect? They can't support a corrupted and a murderous person, Ruto. Absolutely. Yeah. The first reason, let's deal with this whole Ruto, this conspiracy theory of Uhuru Kenyatta going to Addis Ababa to make some calls and swaying the SADC not to vote for Raila Odinga. Let's just examine that theory. Kahawa. Sorry. Like the video, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue. Like the video. Number one, I mentioned that while a lot of political chatterheads on this mainstream media, Karibu Sana Annie, nice seeing you. While a lot of political chatterheads were, singing and bleating on TV, telling us about the geopolitical importance of Kenya, given the geographical positioning that we are. We are by the Indian Ocean, and we are a gateway to the inland, Central Africa, and all this nonsense, and our economy and our influence in the Eastern Bloc region of the East Africa. This had really nothing to do with anything. As heads of state, if they are going to pick AU candidate, first of all, they had to look at their CV. And the number one thing they will look at is the resume. Are these people career diplomats? Okay. Now, if you look at Raila Odinga, obviously he's not. Number two, they will look at what's the position of that particular country. What position have they taken historically on the issues, matters to do with African conflicts or Africa conflicts that is in Africa? You can mention first of all, you can mention the Congo issue, South Africa being embroiled in this lip wrestling with Kagame. What was Kenya? Umeamua kufinya. What was their position? What was the Kenyan's position in this conflict? Okay, the issue with the Arab issue, the Gaza issue, which is a global issue. I know some people, we might live in Kenya and we might think that the Palestinian issue does not affect us. Yes, it does, kind of. It's something that it's really important to know where you stand, whether you're for Palestinians or you're for the apartheid government that's up there. So Kenya taking the position of supporting Israel, that naturally just puts off the Northern African nations. So not only that, the biggest factor that people, these heads of state, had to consider before they voted for this AU candidate, it was the interpersonal connection skills that these folks have. As I've mentioned, the Djibouti guy had 28 years of experience as a top diplomat, the main diplomat from Djibouti as a foreign minister. Okay, so he has relationships in the diplomatic circle within Africa. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I emphasize that if you listen keenly to the debate, Jadala Africa, you could see he understood the challenges that arise when it comes to this AU, within the AU, when there's issues that needs to be implemented, because their number one job as the AUC chairperson, you will be trying to implement this AU resolutions, okay? And you could hear the Djibouti guy, of all the people. Again, the Madagascar guy, maybe his interpreter didn't do him justice. And I think when I looked at his CV, he had a history in finance more than anything. But again, going back, Nasuluhu, going back to the Djibouti guy, if you listen to the debates, okay, these people are not silly. They know they can tell who has it and who does not have it. And I could see people try to spin it. Oh, Baba did well. He did not do well. He did okay. He just showed up and did what anybody should have done, the minimum requirements, okay? He did the prerequisites and he was okay with it, okay? Again, the Djibouti guy highlighted, he understood AU, he understood the challenges, and he gave us the ABCD steps on how he can get 2 or more heads of state to actually get involved in implementing most of the resolutions that are agreed upon or are reached at the AU parliament or whatever. Okay, so you could see the difference. But when it came to Raila Odinga just gave you a generic answer. He just told you, "Hey, this is my plan." Yes, again, I don't know if you listen to the X discussion about the results, and one of the Ethiopian guy was speaking. He was a member of the Ethiopian media, and he was speaking when he was talking about Raila Odinga. He mentioned the fact that when he was interviewing Raila Odinga and asking him questions about what's his vision for Africa, and he kept on dwelling on the past. He was talking about the history of AU and all this stuff. Like, again, the Africa is has the youngest demographic in the world. We have a bunch of young people. They don't care about the history. I'm not saying they don't care, but it's nice. History is nice, but listen, these are young folks that care about where are you want to take the continent. How are you going to advocate for the continent? Don't tell us about the historical aspect of it. Okay, it's good to be cognizant of the historical factors that got us here, but some challenges here. He also mentioned how annoying the delegates from Kenya, the 300 MPs or whatever the case is, the 100 MPs. Sorry guys, let me just get my plan B here because I might be attacked. So mpaka tujitayarishe in case the usual suspects get us in trouble here. So again, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, sorry guys, I'm just setting up my stuff just to make sure that I'm on good hands, okay? And I will come to the comment section too, guys. So just give me a second. Let me just get off this nitoe kwa kifua, so to speak, okay? I'm coming there as I drink this wonderful coffee. Yeah, so like I was saying, this member of on that so annoying with their singing, being loud, unnecessarily loud, trying to, they were blocking roads. Raila showed up with 300 people. you know, it's not a good look. As I say, it was embarrassing. People want to see what you have to offer. Don't show up with the 300 people. I mean, what are you? Who are you? Who do you think you are walking up here with 100 MPs? And that's what it is. But back to this idea of Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta being involved in this, involved in the Raila's downfall. Number one, I don't buy it. Number two, even if he is, I don't think Uhuru Kenyatta by himself has enough sway to make these heads of state not vote for Raila Odinga. Maybe he does, but I don't know. It's a stretch. It's a bit of a stretch. Maybe he does, but I just don't see it. I do not see it. Yes, Uhuru Kenyatta has always made his rounds around Africa. He actually was eyeing for that seat at some point. I just don't see one call from Uhuru making these African leaders, heads of states, to vote otherwise. But there are people who openly came out and say that, yes, we did write to these heads of state and warn them not to vote for Raila Odinga, namely Miguna, that's one. And there was Gen Zs who are, remember the emails that, if you listen to their ex and you look at their, Laban is like, it's over, don't dig too much. I'm not digging too much. I'm just giving, a background on why, the reactions of how people are, I'll get to the reactions too, yes. Miguna, say that he actually called the SADC members and some head of states. He sent them some emails and told them, hey, listen, this guy has a history of, A, B, and C, okay? Now, when the Djibouti guy also said that AU is not a retirement package, that basically gives you a glimpse of how majority of the AU member states, diplomats, felt about Raila's candidature. They felt like Raila just wanted something to fall back on. He wasn't taking it serious, okay? So that kind of gives you an idea of how people felt about Raila's candidacy, okay? I felt he wasn't serious, okay? He went to a few countries here and there, flying around with Gladys Wanga and Macau Mutua. Besides that, I didn't see any serious campaign, okay? It was just a show for his audience in Kenya. It wasn't something like he was trying to build something. So I'm not, So let's just consider in the fact that, okay, if Uhuru Kenyatta sent an email or called a couple of heads of states, Miguna said that he did so publicly in his live yesterday. The Gen Zs who had emails for heads of states of SADC and East African region, they didn't have to worry about the North Africans. The North Africans were not going to vote for Ruto vote for Raila because of Kenya's position regarding the Palestinian-Israeli issue, okay? So, the Ruto ametumia 13 billion to bribe candidates for Raila win. I don't know how true that is. Shimariam is telling us that Ruto used 13 billion to bribe candidates, to try to bribe candidates. The AU, so Raila could win. Wow. So yeah. So this whole idea of Uhuru Kenyatta, was behind Raila's, failure bid. I just think it's a stretch. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. And if he is, hey, it's whatever. Hiyo ni shauri yao. Hiyo ni vita yao wenyewe kwa wenyewe. Waende wakamalizane huko ninio. But okay, Laban is telling me KR the AU is over. The channel can process it. Okay, I feel your pain. Laban. But Kalonzo Musyoka was out there telling us something. Who is to blame? Because, of course, somebody has to be blamed. Is it lack of diplomatic know-how, Shazpa, or is it just, people just did not fancy Raila Odinga? Now, again, there are implications. There's something that I warned yesterday when I was having my live yesterday, my second one. I say that even though Raila has lost, and to me, in my opinion, in my interpretation, he looks really, really mad. He did not look like a happy man. He was really mad. I felt like, and this rumor ya mambo ya Some people are trying to make it a tribal thing. Wanaanza kutaka kusema ati sijini wa Kikuyu, whatever, Kenyatta. This might not go well. And Kaluma did not miss the opportunity to start the dances. Let me start with Kalonzo Musyoka. Musyoka said something that I want us to actually see what he said regarding the whole thing with the loss of Raila Odinga. Let's just start with Kalonzo, then we'll go to somebody else. Are we ready, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters? All right, tuendeni basi.
Sasa wamemnyoshia kidole cha lawama Rais William Ruto baada ya Kenya kupitia Raila Odinga kupoteza nafasi ya mwenyekiti wa tume ya Jumuiya ya Afrika. Akizungumza alipohudhuria ibada katika kanisa la Full Gospel katika eneo la Mwingi kwenye kaunti ya Kitui, Kalonzo alisema kwamba rais alijihusisha na masuala ya mataifa mengine ambayo yaliathiri nafasi ya kura ya Kenya kupata uungwaji mkono. Jeff Kirui na taarifa.
Okay, as usual, I'm always having trouble. All right, we'll give it a minute.
Hiyo kwa kina.
Kinyang'anyiro cha mwenyekiti wa tume ya AU kimeibua msisimko wa kisiasa nchini Kenya baada ya Raila Odinga kubwagwa na mgombea wa Djibouti Mohamed Yusuf. Kutokana na hilo, kinara wa Wiper Kalonzo Musyoka anamlaumu Rais William Ruto baada ya Kenya kupoteza nafasi hiyo.
Jambo hili tusifurahie, liko na aibu, limeleta aibu kwa sura ya nchi ya Kenya. And I place the blame squarely on Raila on Mheshimiwa William Samoei Arap Ruto, who was a chief campaigner.
Mwenye amepoteza kiti ya chairmanship ya AU. It is not Raila Odinga, it is Ruto. Because yeye ndiye alikuwa puppet. Yeye ndiye alikuwa chief campaigner na financier.
Kwa mujibu wa Kalonzo na wandani wake, siasa za Kenya za mwaka 2027 zilipenyeza kwenye kinyang'anyiro hicho. Aidha, wanadai kuwa changamoto nchini ikiwemo visa vya ukiukaji wa haki kupitia utekaji nyara kwa macho ya mataifa ya nje vilichangia Kenya kupoteza nafasi hiyo.
Alikuwa na nia yake nyingine pengine kwamba akimsukuma Raila basi atakuwa na easier time. He didn't know it was going to be very difficult.
African heads of state are not fools. Wakajiuliza maswali. Wewe unataka Kenya ikuwe chairman ya AU, na wewe unafanya abduction ya watoto ya shule.
Kenya ilipata pigo kubwa saa chache kabla ya shughuli ya kura kuanza, baada ya mataifa ya muungano wa maendeleo ya kusini mwa bara Afrika kutoa wito kwa wanachama wake wa SADC kuunga mkono Madagascar.
Walienda pale DRC, wakienda kuombanisha watu bure. Yani, how do you go to fight with voters 2 weeks into an election? Unaenda pale unasumbuana na Kagame, unaenda pale unasumbuana na Suluhu, unasumbuana pale na Tshisekedi. How do you expect those people wakusikize ili unataka wafanyie?
Ilivyo sasa, shinikizo zimeanza kuibuka, wandani wa Wiper wakiwataka washikadau katika wizara ya masuala ya kigeni kuwajibika, akiwemo waziri mwandamizi Musalia Mudavadi.
The same ambassador alienda Addis Ababa, yeye, bibi yake, 2 bodyguards na president wake ambaye alikuwa voter. 5 people in total. Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga alibeba 187 senior government officials to Addis Ababa.
Yeah.
Please be humble. And more so, utilization of public resources.
Jeff Kirui, KTN.
All right. Now watu wanasema ati Kalonzo message is almost like he was mocking Raila Odinga or laughing at Raila Odinga. I have no idea. I don't know. I didn't read much into I didn't read much into Kalonzo's message, like how whatever he was saying. I just felt it was something expected of Kalonzo Musyoka to shift the blame and trying to make it seem like it was Ruto's ninio. Thank you so much. Nice seeing you, Muganda Katende. Please, guys, don't msiangalie bure. Please. Dunga your like button. Dunga your like that ninio. Like and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Let's get to it. Now, Kalonzo Musyoka said what he said. You saw how people ninio kiwa anasema alfungua duka. You have to open your camera though. I want to see everybody. Me squeezy nataka kuona kila mtu. Everybody, wale watu wanani, I've been attacked too much. I have to see how everybody looks. So if I start doing my investigation, I want to see how people look. I have to see everybody's face. Everyone. I'm not playing 2025. At least, there are some people who I know how they look. So I've kind of figured out where they live and how they look. So, yeah. But anyway, as we continue. So everybody has to open their camera. If you want to come in, open your camera and I'll put the link in. Anyway, as I was saying, Kalonzo said what he said. It was expected. Of course, you don't expect him to come say, "Oh, it was Raila's fault. He didn't campaign well." All this, 13 billion, I guess, it was spent according to Shimariam. Tafadhali ni jamaa, can you guys hit that you like button? Hit that like button, okay? As we continue, all right? Now, something that I warned against yesterday. I want to Atiston, Ani unasemaje? Yesterday was attacked with picture. Oh, okay. I don't know about that, but anyway, let's start with what was I saying? Something that I was warning people about, the tribal part of it. Listen, guys, I say this. I am one of the biggest Uhuru Kenyatta haters, but I cannot put this on him. I cannot put Raila Odinga's loss on Uhuru Kenyatta. Uhuru is chilling wherever he is. Kama alienda Addis Ababa, alienda mambo yake. Whatever. Hata kama alipiga simu, whatever the case is, I don't care. I don't feel like one phone call or him calling all these heads of state was enough to sway the Neo. I blame this squarely on Raila Odinga and his team, whoever was campaigning for him. The country itself, the people, majority of the people did not want Raila Odinga to go and win this AUC for whatever reason. Even his former supporters of this Azimio. They felt like he turned his back while he was supposed to see through this whole process of kushukisha gharama ya maisha. He promised us that sava itafunguliwa. He promised us that sijui nini itafanyika, ataenda kwa State House. But he woke up one day. All right. Oh yeah. Wamuganda Katende, please put your notification on, please. Please put your notification on. I don't know why it's not working, but all I can say is make sure that you unafinya your button na ikuwa on so that when I come in, you can always get me, okay? Ama ni aje? Sawa. Guys, please continue muzidi kulike. If you want the link, I can put the link, but you have to show your face. Mimi sitaki watu wanaingia ambao wako face. There's a lot of people getting in here. Mi wengine sijui. At least I know some people, the usual suspects ambao wana attack channel wame hack, but I know where they live. I know their faces. I know their real names. So if they cross that line, I know how to go about it, okay? But for the most of you, some of you get in here, I don't know how you look. So you have to open your pack of, so you have to do that. But Amuganda, I'm so happy. I don't know why the notification is not renewed, but just make sure that you hit that bell so that your notification ndio nikikuja live you can always get me. But yes, Joseph Gashu, I see you. It's you. Your notification are not working. I just happened to scroll. Oh, Gypsy Corner is also telling me my notification are not working. Poleni. Yes, I have no idea. Like I said, people, my stuff has been hacked. I've been attacked. Keep wewe najua vile huko. Keep really is like kodi sura yangu mbaya. Sura keep I know how your sura yako yuko we I've already configured the mambo yako, so but still, if you're coming in, if you really want the new, I'll put the link for you now weke sura hapo na tuendelee na siasa. Just let me know in the comment if you want me to put the link. Turn your camera on, nitakuingiza whoever you are, hata keep hata ukitaka ani whoever. Who else? Yes, guys. Thank you so much. As we continue, please, jamani, hitini your like button. Kwani your like button yawa. Na hiyo ni na hiyo notification button. Gypsy Corner, try. Gypsy Corner, me, I can't block anyone unless ukuja on disrespect. There's one person who I've blocked in this channel. One person, and he was really getting on my nerves, but I've never blocked anyone, no matter how we might listen. It's not personal that we could disagree. If you become disrespectful and whatever disruptive to a point where that's when I'll block you. But me, I cannot block anyone. Gypsy Corner, you're the last person I will block. You know that. We go way back, like I don't know. we go way back. Even I mean keep up to Megombana, but I mean I don't block him. He can always come here and say whatever he wants to say. So yeah, Labani, Keep is challenging you on the loss. So if you want the link, let me know. But just turn your camera on, and I will put the video. Kesho ni parliament. Okay. So like I was saying, not to get off topic, let me go back to what I was saying. I was mentioning, guys, hiyo like button. Kuna watu hapa na hamjaeka like button, hamjafinya like button. Again, guys, go ahead. Do me a favor. Just one favor before I continue. I've continued with my orodha ya kipindi. Go ahead, take a minute. Iyo notification bell, ifinye mara moja. Make sure it's on. If you're using your phone or you're using your tablet or whatever the case is, just finya it on. Put it on. Make sure it's on, okay? Then namufinya your like button. Come on, this is an interactive ninio. Finya your like button. Nataka kuona like button ni watu 100, okay? 100 the likes. That will be very nice. I will sleep very well, okay? Hapa mimi sitawaomba pesa. Mufinye tu your like button. Mukifinya your like button na msubscribe. That is enough for me. Mimi sitaki pesa. Lakini mkinipatia pesa pia nitachukua tu. Sitakata. Yawa. But anyway, let's get back to the orodha the vipindi as we continue to give you what you need. Now, I mentioned something. Listen to me, guys. Listen to me very carefully. I want us to do this. I want you guys to be very active in your political lives. Hata pale kama mko Kenya ama mko wapi. Let's not let any kind of tribalist agenda to creep in. Let's not let any tribalist agenda to creep in. Let's not try to make this about Nyeri people laughing at Raila or celebrating because Raila lost. Okay, they celebrated. So what? That's just how it is. Okay? But let's not make it. Let's not even give it. Let's not give it any. This is a fight. This is a fight. Tusiwache hii ukabila creep in. Ndio maana I'm debunking this whole theory ya mambo ati sijui Uhuru ndio amefanya Raila shindwe. That is a lie. Raila had more than I don't know how many months to make his case, to persuade these heads of state. Uhuru going to Addis Ababa for a few days is not enough to undo Raila's campaign if he was persuasive enough. You understand what I'm saying? So let's not even give an inch to this whole idea ati wanataka kuiweka ati sasa ni watu wa Mlima ndio wamefanya ati Raila. No. We are not going to do that. Tumekataa. Raila ameshindwa fair and square. Walienda round ngapi? Walienda round ngapi? Walienda mpaka round ya 7. This had nothing to do with watu wa Mlima. Okay? This had nothing to do with watu wa Mlima. Raila went there in his own accord, akakubali, akarudi, mambo yes, wawache hii mambo ya kujaribu kuweka ati sijui watu wa Mlima versus watu wa sijui Nyanza kwa sababu no. This was fair and square, and one person, even if it was Uhuru Kenyatta who made a call, that was not enough to actually have Raila lose. So let's not try to make it let's not even entertain the idea. Now, there's this usual suspect, Kaluma. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this Raila sycophant, okay? He started saying something that I actually suspected. It's very troubling if you read what he actually said. Let me show you the post, because this is what I suspected the ODM Raila sycophants will start doing. And exactly they have started to do this. Even Devin D wrote something that was I found it troubling, okay? Let me show you what I mean. Wacha nionyeshe. Hebu finyeni like tafadhali. Fanyeni like hapo. Nyinyi watu mnaangalia kwa X, hebu kujeni pia kwa YouTube na mweke like hapo. Let me show you guys what I quickly mean, okay? Yes, James Wangi. Yes, I agree with you. I agree with this. Yes, Kaluma is a tribalist, absolutely. No tribalism, it's not tribal. Ruto must go is the agenda, absolutely. Yeah. wewe nani unanichekesha. Mtu akishindwa ashindwe. Tuache kusema ati sijui nini. If anything, if you want to blame someone, blame Ruto. Ruto was the one who was vile tu nani amesema, Kalonzo amesema. But anyway, let's read this, because we have to expose these tribalists. Mpaka to expose, let's not leave any, because Mimi, I do not want. One thing I do not want is we lose our country due to civil war or whatever. We have to come together from every tribe, corner of Kenya, and rally around and remove these political elites who have been looting from our country. Let's not fall into this tribal attitude. No. Let's not buy it. So expose anyone who's trying to plant any seed. There's nothing wrong to being against Raila Odinga, because it is Raila Odinga as an individual who we are opposed to because of his past, what he has done politically. Okay. Aya. Ayaga ameingia na tuambia ati tomorrow baba kwa airport. Paula Dehro is also here na tuambia mambo yake. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, so you see what Kaluma here. You come now on screen. Can you guys see the screen here? Ama hiyo screen yangu bado haija. Is it actually readable? Is it readable? Aya, wacha niwasome. I don't know if I can enlarge it. No, I cannot. But anyway, let me just read it for you. For those of you who can't read, kama unaiangalia kwa TV, maybe it's yes, I like that, James Wange. Kenya is one, no tribalism, no room for it. Yes, against Djibouti. He must. Yes. Yeah. Ayaga karibu. I hope umepona. But anyway, let's read it. Let's read what Kaluma said, and this is the point I wanted to make. Hapa ndio alituambia kaza, betrayal kills, sword injures. Listen, amesema betrayal kills, sword injures. The death of Caesar, in quotes, the death of Caesar sparked a civil war. The death of Caesar sparked a civil war. Shakespeare's play, The Tragedy of Julius Caesar, depicts Caesar's last words as et tu, brute. Okay? Which translates to, you too, Brutus. Okay? Then he goes down and say, no Wiper MP in Addis. Basically saying no Wiper MP was in Addis Ababa. Then he continues writing, then that celebration from Nyeri comes to drive a nail into my wound. As ODM party, we've crossed the Rubicon. We will die standing for equity and inclusion in Kenya, rather be anyone's slave forever. We will stand and fight for Kenya with President William Ruto. We will not allow these bigoted tribalists to succeed against Kenya's nationhood project. Now, here it is. You see how he has really I'm a twist. Now, if you are celebrating the loss of Raila Odinga, automatically, according to Kaluma, he's calling you a bigoted tribalist, okay? No. Number one, if you're just because you're against Raila Odinga, that does not mean you are a bigoted tribalist. Even if you are a Kikuyu and you do not support Raila Odinga, that does not mean you're a tribalist. Okay? And I say this is another channel. I told one of the presenter there, whatever, and I told him, do not shy away from criticizing Raila Odinga for his, his mess ups just because you're a Kikuyu. Don't feel ashamed about that. It doesn't mean that it comes from a bad place or because you're bitter. It is okay. Wrong is wrong, right is right. Okay? Same thing, even if you're a Luo, it is okay to criticize Raila Odinga if he does some messed up things. You don't have to camouflage and try to defend him just because he's a Luo. He has not done anything for the Luo nation, by the way. And you'll be the first one to tell me that. So that's why I keep on saying, let's not shy away from telling him, you failed because the Kenyans rejected you. It has nothing to do with the tribe that you come from. Okay? This is not the first time Raila Odinga has turned his back on Kenyans. That's why Kenyans wished him a very, very bad results or the AU. And their prayers was granted. He lost at the 7th round. He actually gave up. He didn't even lose. He gave up. Okay? So this is the point that I have to drive home. Okay? If I am of a different tribe and I criticize Gachagua, that does not mean I'm a tribalist just because I'm Gachagua. I'm attacking Gachagua because of the X stuff that he's doing, the bad things that he's doing. It's not because I hate his tribe. It has nothing to do with his tribe or whatever the case is. So we have to distinguish that and be bold about it and be fearless. Okay? We have to be fearless when we talk about these things. Don't feel like you owe anybody apology for saying what you say. If you don't like Raila, say you don't like Raila because of A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, A, V, W, X, Y, Z. Z. Don't apologize, even if you are from his tribe or outside of a tribe or whatever the case is. That's why I felt it was such a ridiculous when people are coming out and saying that it is unpatriotic not to support Raila Odinga. I actually felt that it was patriotic not to support Raila Odinga. It is actually patriotic. It is patriotic not to support Raila Odinga. Okay? So basically, the X post that I'm showing you here is basically hinting at the possibility of a civil war. He's basically saying that, okay, those people who are against Raila Odinga are bigoted tribalists. Just because they don't like, they don't support Raila Odinga. So what? They celebrated. They have a right to celebrate. So what? It is because Raila has taken majority of Kenyans for a ride. And a lot of young people have lost their lives because of Raila Odinga. And he has never acknowledged that. He has never taken responsibility for that. Okay? It has to be said. We can't shy away from this. Whether it's Raila Odinga, whether it's Matiang'i, whether it's Karua, whether it's Gachagua, we have to say these things. We are not going to shy away with it. Okay? Don't be scared of somebody calling you a tribalist. Don't be scared of Neo. Okay? So Raila has himself to blame for this AU chair loss. He lost because he agreed to get into the broad-based government in exchange for his deal to run for the AUC chairperson. And the Gen Zs took it upon themselves to write the heads of states of the African Union to tell them that Raila is not their choice. Raila betrayed the Kenyan people. Raila spit on the graves of Rex and others who lost their lives during June 25th maandamano. Raila turned his back on Musando. Raila turned his back on Baby Pendo. Raila turned his back on his supporters who died to see that he is sworn in as the people's president in 2017 when Uhuru was gunning down people and throwing their bodies in River Yala along with Matiang'i. Raila turned his back on Kenyans time after time after time again and shook hands with the oppressive, murderous government and forgot about his followers. So miss me with that tribalist talk. It has to be said. It has to be said. If you have a thin skin, have a thin skin. If you want to be bold, be bold. Thank you, Gypsy Corner, for the super chat. Saying have coffee, big. I'd planned for losers party. Party. It's time to expose Raila conning his way in politics. Loves power without responsibility. I hate the character. Thanks, KR. Absolutely. Thank you for the super chat. Gypsy Corner. Kudos. Principal Kaura, I see you. Tafadhali, hit the like button. Hit that by musingoje. Chapeni you hit button. Your like button. Everyone, hit that like button. We have to say the truth. This is a loss, an egg on Raila and Ruto's face. So now, like I said, even Waikwa, this great lawyer said, now I think Raila Odinga will try to conjure up a plan to change the constitution, as I've always said here. Okay, I see Njiru Mwaura in here. I see Njiru Mwaura. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Njiru Mwaura's Ninio. Okay, Njiru, I'll put the link and you have to show your face late today. Today, I'm the new rules. Everybody has to show their face. If you don't show your face, mimi na atoa watu nje. I'm the new Pastor Shakahola. Sawa, nitakutumia link. You have to show your face. There's new rules. Haya. Njiru nakuwekea link uniambie mambo yako. Karibu sana, karibu sana. Njiru, there's the link if you want to, anybody else who wants to come in, who feels like he wants to contribute, turn your camera on, get in, give me your 2 cents, 5 cents, 3 cents, 10 cents, or whatever the case is. Yo, link iko kwa chat. I'm willing to take questions, hear contributions, complaints, shout outs, and all that. Mabri pia nakuona anakunywa chai na jug just because Raila. Mabri karibu. Mabri hata wewe pia ukiingia leo sura mpaka nione. Sura mpaka nione. Mimi leo nataka kuona nini sura ya watu. Okay, Kibrili saying Kenya's celebrating and embarrassing the country. Kenya celebrating and embarrassing the country in Addis Ababa. Ruto calling President Emmanuel Macron over African matters and Ruto's interference in the DRS war. Absolutely. These are all factors that actually played in. I agree with you. I agree with you there. Rosa told me, Rosa was saying there, nice thing, Rosa, I haven't seen it for a while, saying Azimio should take the majority in the parliament and Senate impeach Ruto ASAP using some scheme and speed they used to impeach Gachagua. Kufa dereva, kufa makanga must be achieved. Karibu sana Njiru. I see you. Nimekuona leo na kuona hapo uko ready kweli kweli na mandevu kama za Osama. Niambie.
Okay, sawa. Bwana Kenya ni revolutionary. Are you okay?
Yes. I'm okay, okay. Namna gani?
Okay, thank you. Nasikia unanipata vizuri sana. Venye nimekuona ukiwa online hata nikasema siwezi relax. Nikasema I have to come hapa and I have come to pay you. Unajua unaletanga fujo kwangu na mimi nikasema lazima nilete fujo.
Una reciprocate.
So I've come with a lot of violence.
I hold on.
Sorry.
I lost.
You lost me?
Sijui ni speaker. Unanisikia?
Me, I can hear you very well. Kama nimepotea naweza toka
nikuje. My speaker went off. Can you hear me?
100%. What can you read the comment?
Oh, okay. Najua kitu.
Give Conal Nakaur. Can you hear me?
Hi.
Maybe chat section can comment. What are you talking, Rudy? Let me get out. I can.
Yeah. I can hear you.
Oh. Ni sawa. Kama unanisikia ni sawa.
Aya, ongea. Endelea.
Okay, mimi nimesema nimeleta fujo hapa. In fact, I'm very proud of the suffering which Mr. Raila Odinga had to go yesterday through yesterday. Leo nimewaona kwa TV, they are pretending to put a brave face ati venye walisaidiana wakiwa na Ruto. We know they don't want to see each other. It is pretense. It was a catastrophe. It was a failure. It is something irredeemable. And I'm actually very proud of Mr. Raila Odinga from. He deserved it. He thought that this time round he could walk on the blood of our young men who used their bodies as human shield to fight for the Kenyan democracy. And then the opportunist, Mr. Raila Odinga, akatokezea sasa akasema atatumia miili ya watu wakiwa mochari na damu yao, watoto wakiwa wamejitolea wana hatia, and he decided to go against them. Gen Z had told Mr. Raila Odinga, stay home. We don't want your contribution now. Your contribution in Kenya had not yielded enough fruits. We want to take the course as the people who were to spend more time in Kenya than you. We are ready to have our own determination. Stay home. But what did Raila Odinga do? Sababu ya kimbelembele yake na kujitakia makubwa peke yake. Thinking that he is the only person who can be seen as mkombozi. Akajitokeza. I'm very proud because whatever happened yesterday was a rejection in the whole world. If Raila has been rejected by the whole of Africa, who are we Kenyans to start saying that we need him? Personally, I don't need him. Namutaka anipe nini? Africans have seen he is of no use, he is of no value. Sisi wa Kenya tu ndio tunaanzia kusema hapa, you know this person. Let me tell you, Bwana revolutionary. You know, we have pampered Raila Odinga for over 40 years and showing him how important he is. We have pampered that guy for 40 years. There is no any good reason for pampering that guy. He is now beyond repair. He now feels he can now come to Kenya and he wants to play as that very important person. If in any case, if Raila Odinga is an important person, he is only important to Ruto. Because Ruto knows that he needs Mr. Odinga constituency to at least have an head start in the coming election. We know. So Mr. Odinga is only valuable to Ruto. Odinga is not valuable to us. He is not the father of democracy, as he has pretended for 40 years to telling us that he is the father of democracy. The true fathers of democracies are dead. They are in coffins. They are beneath the soil. They suffered the fate of fighting for the Kenyan democracy. So Raila Odinga cannot come and suddenly claim he is the father of Kenyan democracy. Many people who fought for the Kenyan democracy are dead, all the way from the 1952. Our forefathers are dead. Raila Odinga cannot come and claim the glory and putting himself in the center stage of anything which wants to appear to be good. The fact that he betrayed our young people, the fact that our young people died, close to 200, abductions happened in Kenya at his watch. We agreed unanimously that Mr. Raila Odinga has no moral code and moral authority to call shots of anything which is good and glorious in Kenya. So I want to congratulate the Debunking guy for doing the thing, for embarrassing the devil. We never needed Odinga in AU. It could have been an extension of devastation. A devastation taken from Kenya and now taken to AU. If there was something good which happened to Africa, and it is not about lack of patriotism, Bwana Kenyan revolutionary, I want people to understand. Patriotism cannot be because patriotism is about Kenya. Patriotism is not about Odinga. So those people who are telling us that we should be patriotic, they don't understand the meaning of patriotism. We are actually, any person who was against Odinga was the most patriotic person we have. I have seen even our generals, the way they are trying to massage his ego. I have even seen my Wamunyoro general, he is also trying to massage the ego of Odinga. Nataka kuwaambia wa relax. They don't need to pamper Odinga. Odinga is a spent cartridge. He has nothing remaining for the revolution of Kenya. In any case, he has enabled Ruto, who has just been doing everything wrong for our country. So, Bwana Kenyan Revolutionary, if there is a 1 week glory, if there is a 1 week celebration we need to celebrate these laws, and we say it is the beginning to the end of Mr. Ruto regime. In fact, hata wakishikana na Ruto, sababu najua sasa that is the next wave, tunaenda kuwaangusha wote wawili. We no longer need Odinga. He has been thinking for a decade or for a century that he is the most important Kenyan we have. No, he is not the most important Kenyan. As long as people like Kenyan Revolutionary are there, as long as Katende are there, and many other millions of Kenyans, 55, we cannot reduce 55 million Kenyans, the price of 55 million Kenyans on one zygote. Raila Odinga is only one zygote. We cannot make him so important in Kenya that the influence and the contribution of everyone else becomes meager. Kenyan Revolution, it cannot be that way. That guy has been taking the glory he does not deserve. So, as I finish, I had to bring this charge. Bwana Kenyan Revolutionary. Let me tell you one thing, because we have now to start getting serious in our nation. Raila Odinga should not come and hijack the silent revolution happening in Kenya. Because Kenyan Revolutionary, there is a silent revolution happening in Kenya. Mr. Ruto knows he has been rejected and nothing is working into his foray. Mr. Ruto knows that something will happen and he will be gotten out of power, either through the ballot or not through the ballot. He knows the forces of change in Kenya are drifting slowly. And Ruto has been rejected. And there is a wave which is bigger than the tribalism cards they want to play, which is flying all over Kenya. And I want to tell you, Bwana Kenyan Revolutionary, the days of Mr. Ruto are numbered. And in fact, if they believe they are so strong, I want to put a challenge to Mr. Odinga. Shikana na Ruto na ukuje umenyane na sisi. Us as Kenyans, 55 million of us, we will do the thing. We cannot, a time of massaging the ego of people who have actually delayed Kenyan change is gone. In fact, Kenya ingekombolewa huko ma 2000. Our akina Odinga through the massage, Kenya was supposed to change at the dawn of the new millennium. Lakini huyu Raila Odinga anakuja sijui ameshikana na moyo. We are tired of greetings, sijui broad-based. We are tired of that stupidity. Kenyans have to do their own determination. It is not Odinga to do our determination. So this story is whereby now he thinks that now he is the most important human being in life. Is not true. Thank you.
Aye. Asante. Yeah. Aya, Katende, I see you. Naona umengoja hapo patiently. Poa. Thank you for being patient.
Thank you, bro.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly, very clearly.
That is lovely. Thank you for the presentation. Thank you for the show. It's been a long time.
Yeah, I know. I hope you guys release Mr. What's his name? What's
Besigye.
Besigye, yes. I hope he's released. I don't know what's going on.
Not yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
So what's your view on Mr. Raila's loss?
Hoping he'll be released.
Yes, me too. Go ahead. What's your take on Raila's loss?
I was so happy when he lost. Yes, he had to lose. It was like he was taking Kenyans for granted, you know? He was taking Kenyans for granted. Yeah?
That's true.
Yeah. Yes, like was taking Kenyans for granted. And like he felt entitled. He felt entitled to everything. He's an entitled child, and it was a good thing that he was humiliated. And you guys not supporting him is not tribalism. It is not tribalism. When they bring up, he actually is a very bad loser. He's a very bad loser, saying that because someone is not
connection sijui ni namna gani Mr. Katende internet there? I'm sorry.
Can you hear me?
Okay, you're back now. Yes, I see you have connection problems, but
my internet My connection. Okay. So can you hear me properly now?
Yes, now it's clear. Go ahead.
Okay. So the point I was trying to make is, following the politics of Kenya and following the journey of Raila Odinga became controlled opposition in Kenya. It reached a time when he was not about the cause of Kenyans, but he became a controlled opposition. The same problems in facing in Uganda. That is why he feels entitled. That's why he feels entitled, simply because people are criticizing, are talking about, or are happy about you losing the AU seat. You start to bring in, telling people that they are tribalistic. They are not tribalistic. They know who you are. They look through you. Gen Z is looking through Raila Odinga, and they know exactly what they want. So let them not confuse us as like tribalism. It is not tribalism. It is because we took away that entitlement. Raila is not entitled. And Kenya must and will change. With or without him, Kenya will change. It will not go back to those people who are entitled in politics. Simply because you lost, then you say you are tribalistic. They are not tribalistic. They see through him. They came to find out that he's controlled opposition. And thank God you guys are standing. Thank God you guys are standing.
Yes.
You've broken up that elite, politics of elites. Now politics has to be for Kenyans. Strictly for Kenyans, not for individuals. So I want to commend you guys. You not supporting Raila is not tribalistic. Actually, it is patriotism. It is the love of the nation. It is you guys seeing through what those guys have been using, bodies of young men. People have been kidnapped. I saw guys being killed. And the guy comes in here and then he says they are tribalistic. But those are the same people that we are supporting him. See, I mean, when did he know that these guys are tribalistic? When they are the ones who've been supporting him. Simply because now they saw through him, he begins to bring up that tribalistic card. It is not going to work this time. It's not going to work this time. And we guys are watching you and we are supporting you. And we know that Gen Z must continue the fight, whether on the ballot or off the ballot. Change must come. That's my presentation, brother.
Amen.
Thank you so much for the show.
I hope the Uganda Gen Zs also try to advocate for Basije to be released, because I saw he doesn't seem to be
exactly. That's the route we are taking.
Yes. Even though
that's the route we are taking.
Museveni Museveni has everything locked, but when you guys come together, and hopefully with Kenyans also might join it to liberate Uganda also. Thank you so much, Katenda. I'm so happy I saw you. I know you always come in and we haven't seen it for each other, so I'm so happy to see you today. So thank you so much. Let me bring Mr.
Thank you, bro.
No problem. Kip, who seems to be the biggest Raila supporter. He has a picture on the background. He loves this Raila sympathizer. He's so in love with Raila Odinga. Look at the picture of Raila Odinga in the background. Tell us, Kip.
I'm the chief celebrating committee of the AEC chairmanship. Tuliambia mtashinda. We are guaranteed. Baba anajua. Baba knows what he's doing. Eco strategy. There was a strategy. Very good strategy. Tulikuwa tunaenda kama wajinga. You know how many Kenyans went to Addis Ababa kama washenzi? Taking the likes of Karen Nyamu, the usual community P, whatever, the usual community P, ile na Gauyonga community. Mkaeka wote wa room 360 huko wakaenda Addis Ababa, singing national wimbo za kitaifa huko anaimba tu Kenya inchi. And this is supposed to be a unifying position. It's supposed to unify Africans. I would rather that they would sing songs from Funikute,
That
Say,
song, go si Sikelele Africa. Yeah.
Sing about that, or from Cape Town to, like the EFF songs. The EFF songs
Yes.
are very African oriented. It's not even South Africa. Again, based on Mawimbo, talking about African stuff. Then another thing, nasikia walikuwa wengi sana walikuwa na cause jam in Addis Ababa. So it was that embarrassing, like
Yes.
seeing some of our people from our country looking. Yeah, it's true. I've been told for years. That's Gypsy. You know that
Your friend.
it is a fact. I have dry humor. So we looked like goons. We looked stupid, but not. When you see money for the first time, the kind of things you do, it's like watching. I think you've seen that the American rappers where they would buy gold chains. They would they buy expensive vehicles when they don't know what to do with money. They don't know what to do with stuff. So that is what we see with Ruto, and Ruto is a representation of who we are as Kenyans. Very embarrassing. So then, the other thing is the interference of a so-called leader. He's not my president, but he's a wanker. He goes and someone's at the door. Just 1 second. I'll be back. 1 second.
Okay, Faruk Kibet is opening
Okay,
the door.
wacha nichukulie hapo.
Endelea. Hata Ani alikuwa anasema urudi mara moja. You are on high demand hapa. By the way, quickly, guys, also shout out to Brother Benson Media. He has a channel pia, mwende kwa Brother Benson Media, muangalie, subscribe na share. Na also Njiru, who is here, who is president. In fact, let Njiru tell us about his channel before he goes on with his ninio. Endelea fanya marketing hapo, Njiru. The mic is yours.
Ni sawa. Yeah, anyway, I appreciate nasalimia Brother Benson sana. Brother Benson, nitakuongelesha. Najua nimekuangusha sana, but I will be putting a show for you. Don't worry. Nitakutumia email. Away from that, channel yangu inaitangwa @Jiro Maura Talk Room. Tunafinyanga watu huko mbaya sana. It's our talk room. So our work is purely to sanctify Kenyan democracy. We just discovered that we have been supporting people who are not serious. We have burnt our midnight oil for over 10 years, supporting people who are not patriotic in Kenya. And by the time we discovered ourselves, we decided that hatutaidanganywa tena. So kazi yangu for now, and with people like akina Kibril na akina Kenyan Revolutionary, kazi yetu ni kufinya any person who wants to delay the progress of Kenya. We know that Kenya can easily change if we become honest and we start practicing mature politics. And there's no way in which we can have mature politics in Kenya through people like Odinga, through people like Ruto. Ruto is not a patriotic Kenyan. I want to tell you that. What does patriotism mean? Patriotism means you can die for your country. You can die for your country. Does Odinga die for the country or he die for himself? Odinga just dies for himself. That is why Odinga hakuna kiti inaweza mpita. Lazima akuwe hapo, lazima hakuna kiti anataka kukua hapo. He cannot sacrifice self for the bigger goals. That's why I want to tell you. Even I want to tell my Luo brother, because we don't hate them. At time of Luo brothers to evaluate their support on Raila Odinga is now. I am not saying that they cannot support Raila Odinga as an elder. They can support it, but the idea whereby they want to use Raila Odinga as a unification force with other communities are gone. I don't think Raila Odinga will be able to unite their community with other communities, because he has always put personal interest before the interest of even his own community. He has used the rural community as a human shield. Let me tell you that, and I'm not embarrassed to say this. I have now to sasa tumeamua tutafungulia preno zote ili sasa nawe kipo niruhusu. Unajua ukitoroka ukisema waje upewe time kidogo, sasa Osamo basa tunyamazangi, inabidi uruhusu hiyo zote ufuro iende, alafu nikuachie studio. Siwezi kuachia for now, so keep it a video tulie. Bwana Odinga has used the rural community, and let me say it is very sad. Bwana Odinga has used and I'm saying this with a lot of humility, and I'm so sorry to say that Raila Odinga has used the rural community as human shield for his own ambitions. Let's call it as it is. Anaenda pale anasema sijui nini anaita. Let me tell you, how difficult is it for somebody of the status of Raila Odinga to hold a serious conference or something else to explain to people how his election was lost. Lakini kazi yake tu ni kuambia watu waende barabarani wauawe, and he has no concept of proving how his own election was stolen. Kazi yake tu ni kuambia tu watu watokezee waandamane. He is not able to present. And I want to give a case. In Venezuela, it was proven how the election was stolen, even as that guy went for exile in Spain. How difficult is it for somebody like Odinga, if he believes he has been winning Kenyan elections, to come and prove to us? I believe Raila Odinga has machinery. So asikuje kutujifanyia, Raila Odinga has machinery to prove elections in Kenya are stolen. But what does he do? Instead of proving anything, anakuja, he begins with the Supreme Court process, anaanzia kutuambia ako na evidence ya roli mzima, tunawekewa makaratasi huko ya roli mzima, ati ako na evidence ya roli mzima, anatuzungusha huko, and he is not able to put a case or to explain how issues have gone when it comes to election stealing. Raila Odinga has a burden of proof to show, and let me tell you, if Raila Odinga is not going to show Kenyans how the election is stolen, he has lost all his coloring. Manukato yake yote ishaenda. He still has one point. He has one thing to prove, because Raila Odinga is on the path of burying the Odinga family in the path of Kaburi Asahau. Odinga family is dying if he continues that way, but it can resurrect. How can Odinga family resurrect? Unajua sana sana Kenyan Revolution, kuna mafamilia mingi sana za Kenya ziliisha. We had the Kuria Kanyige families. We had the Mbuko Inange families. They are nowhere near power. They were in the trapping of powers. Ni kama vile akina Sudi. Sudi in the next 50 years, mutakuanga mnamusikia anasoma tu kwa history, hata kusemaka kulikuwa na mtu alikuwa anaitwa Sudi. His families will be nowhere. We know how this dynasties fall, and they fall. And Odinga dynasty will fall. Why? Because Odinga has refused to prove how Kenyan elections are stolen, and he has that potential and that capacity. If you are so determined, number one, you cannot all the time be joining government, whichever the case. All the time your work is to join the government, to look for ways to work with the government. It cannot be that way. You have to prove to us. We know elections are stolen. Hatukatai. Lakini, why is Odinga shy of showing Kenyans how elections are stolen? Number one, it is because he is not serious. He is not willing to become a president. Personally, I can even become a human shield if I'm shown how elections are stolen. But there's no way in which tutasaidia mtu kukua rais, and at the same time, he is not showing us the things which matter to the Kenyans. So, Odinga days are numbered in terms of influencing Kenyan politics. In any case, hata akikuja, hata kama anataka kukuja kushikana na vitetu, sio sisi tunamhitaji. Kenyan Revolution, I said this thing yesterday, and people are like trying to disagree with me. We do not need Odinga. It is Odinga who needs us. Let him not overturn the tables. Akuja sasa kutuambia sasa sisi ndio tunamhitaji. We no longer need Odinga. In any case, for the last 2 years ama mwaka moja hiyo wamekuwa na Ruto, we have survived without him. As amekuwa akilishwa mapochopocho, hizo vitu zote amekuwa akilishwa na Ruto. We have survived. Ama tumekufa bwana Kenyan Revolutionary. For the last 1 year hiyo amekuwa na Ruto. Have we died? In fact, hata ndio tumefinya kasongo vizuri. In fact, without him, we have been able to develop stamina na kupiga kasongo vizuri. So, Mr. Raila Odinga should know that a support for Ruto, that we don't care for it. I feel for him because he is doing bad things for his own family. Sababu familia yake itakuja kusahaulika, but he can resurrect himself by joining the winning side. He has to join the side of the people. He has to come as a backbencher. He has enabled Ruto to do all the heinous acts in Kenya, including abductions na vitu zingine. Gen Z had told him, keep quiet. Na yeye na mdomo yake tu anaenda huko sijui nini, sijui mimi ni Mwafrika. No, he deserved to collapse yesterday. Na hivyo Raila Odinga alianguka jana. It was the beginning of calamities of most of the political class in Kenya. we are now going to Ruto. Hata Ruto atumuache. For your information, Ruto hata kura milioni 3 hawezi pata hii Kenya. Hata washikani na huyo Odinga, milioni 3 hawezi pata. He has no political party, he has no starting point. So already Ruto is cooked. Hakuna kitu. And I don't think there is any serious Gen Z in human life who can support the status of Ruto, somebody who has devastated our economy, right, left, and center. So, as I finish, I'm so proud that even Africans themselves, they were able to understand the deceit which had been packaged by Kenyans in the name of patriotism and enigmanism. That deceit which had been packed by Kenya, ikafunguliwa yote, wakaona tu ni makaratasi tu ilikuwa imewekwa hapo, ile masimu ya matope unauziangwa pale tea room, wakajua ni simu ya matope imekuwa packaged hapa. I'm very proud, and I'm very proud Kenyan today that a man who had camouflaged as a fighter in Kenya was actually rejected. And we are equally rejecting Ruto and all his enablers. We don't care. Kenya will be rescued by people who have Kenya at heart, not people who just think that they have to joyride at the plight of Kenyans. And they only want to benefit when things look good for them. A time of massaging the ego of this politician is done. Thank you.
Thank you. Keep, I know you were making a submission before you got mtu alikugongea mlango. Mason is telling me I once interviewed Farouk without knowing. He can come back, Farouk. Even Ruto, he can come back. Here it's open to anybody. Kuja nitakuletea wakina Keep na wakina Kaka exchange words and all that. But anyway, keep go ahead with your submission. Then I see Mr. Jared. Jared, today we were putting our cameras on, but I know you didn't get the memo, so I'll give you a pass. But keep it there.
Wewe unapata hii ni shamba la wanyama tena. Some animals are more equal than others.
Jared, you know, Jared unasikia nimemtumia nini? Jared unasikia, they want camera, they want to see your face, everyone is kila mtu.
No, I was joking.
Okay, I mean, fair point. What's good for the goals is good for the Uganda. Okay, 20.
Yeah, exactly. So I'll continue from where I stopped. It's not racist what I said. If you look at the rappers that are wearing gold chains and all that stuff, the ones who survived like 50 Cent and the rest stopped doing that. They survived long enough to stop doing that. 50 Cent usually says the chains he wears are fake. He had a big mansion. He had to reduce his mansion to just 5-bedroom house. He just realizes that sometimes the joy of being a wealthy person is actually investing in other things. He started from, what do you call it? Mineral water. And he moved. There are very many examples of wealthy musicians that stop doing this garbage of wearing their wealth, wasting their money. And it looks bad. And it's the same image we have as Kenyans. When we went out there, we were flaunting our wealth. We had so many delegates. For what? For a useless seat? Secondly, you could see Ruto had this expectation. I wish you guys saw that video. This expectation of looking like the American president. You know, when the American president, wherever he is, whether he goes for G4, G7, G8, whatever it is, he has this notion of putting 2 chairs. So the world leader comes and visits the American president. It's CNN and all those people come. He shakes their hand. Then they sit together, photo up. They talk about nonsense. Then the next one comes in. And it happens like that with the G7. So Ruto's trying to do that. He only met 2. The latest young president and some minister somewhere. It was, these people ignore him. He tried to do a meeting on the East African community. How can we ignore? They came on that what do you call it? On that meeting where then they realized it's not serious. It's not serious what this guy does. It's more of trying to emulate what he sees the West doing. Why don't you do something fresh, something different? If you don't have to copy what the Americans do. So it was really embarrassing seeing him. Then, again, he choreographed the leaving of the hotel as if Raila was the bride or something like that. Akaingia kwa gari, wakaingia pamoja, waka carpet. I was like, oh my God, then when you see the Mogadishu guy, the beauty guy, all he did, he came with his wife, PA and bodyguard. That was it. nothing else. Hata hakukuja na nini, he didn't even come with his president. His president alikuwa ameenda na shughuli zake huko, him going to meet other world leaders, meaning that you're still beneath me. I am the president, I'm going to meet fellow world leaders. Waenda ufanya campaign kivyako, mimi naenda kuongea na my peers. You've not got hujafika bei bado. So that is another thing. It's the fact that any move, because I'll be honest, Raila angeshinda hii kitu. Raila would have won this thing very quickly, because when he was doing that thing that ile kazi alipatiwa na Uhuru, they recognized it. They knew, in double quotes, he was a visionary person, even if it was on paper. They liked him, they've met him, they have had discussions with him. But then once Raila connected with Ruto, they saw them as a package. It was a package. The man who calls Macron in the middle of a crisis, rather than Africans dealing with their own issues, unakimbilia white overlords. That was really embarrassing. It just looked very bad for Kenya. It's like, why are you undermining us? Some of these countries have done coups because of France, not even because of whatever. It was because of France planting these dictators to them, so that France can have their national, what you call it, central banks, the central bank of these countries being up in France. That's only, if I ask you, what does France export in the EU, and what makes France very important? It's because ameshika madini
Africa,
shika nini francophone countries.
They're bold, yeah.
That is how they make a living.
Yeah,
so
Senegal still. Sorry, go ahead. So
when you hear this guy is freaking out about coups in Africa, is because the whole people like Burkina Faso are like, F off. We're gonna go to Russia, or we're gonna go to all these other places where we don't have to be in shackles for this stuff. I don't care if it's let me tell you the truth. I don't care if it's Putin. Well, let's work with Putin. Putin, kama tutafanya kazi na yeye, and he's not gonna put shackles in us. Let's trade. The people of Russia can go deal with them, can go deal with him. If they want him out, they can get him out. But for us as Africans, we're like, it's better to work with a dictator that is not messing us up, rather than a democratic person that comes and interferes with our own stuff here, elections. The freaking Macron, what's her name? Whitman is in the country telling us she's coming to help us with rhinos. All those 80 years in her life, she's never seen a rhino except when she came to Kenya. I know more about rhinos than her. They would have hired me. People who know about rhinos in Kenya. to go to Embu, to go to National Park, to go create what do you call it? To create factories or mining areas in Kenya, then go make billions in the US. That is why most of us are here. We're chasing our wealth. We're chasing what you are allowing to leave the country. So people like me and Rebel should be in Kenya right now. Our skills are needed at home. But me, I don't know about you, Rebel. I'm an economic refugee for the last 20 years. Sitaki kukaa hapa. Where do I take my skills there? There is no one who's going to hire me. There isn't opportunities for anybody like me in Kenya. So AUC, first of all, I don't even know why he went for that job. It's the most useless. And just this litmus test was there just weeks before that. Kaonesha hii kitu ilikuwa useless sana. The number one job for AUC chairman is the number one ambassador of Africa. He's the one who's supposed to stop. He's the one who's supposed to have talks about wars. He's the one who's supposed to stop conflict resolution. Hiyo ndio kazi yake ya kwanza huko juu. Hata hizi mambo za economics nini ama nini. Hiyo ndio kazi yake ya kwanza. Conflict resolution, diplomacy, and making sure that we're united as Africans. Mjamaa huyo faki alifukuzwa huko hiyo meeting, akaambia we don't want you here, get out. And Ruto tu anakuja anajipembeleza like it's just a high profile job. Ni kama flaga angeenda tu kukaa huko. The people who are celebrating, by the way, it's not the people from Luo Nyanza who wanted that seat, by the way. It's this the actual tribalists like Malima and whatever. if you saw the celebrations in Kondele, the ground itself, or like they didn't want it. I don't agree with Raila anymore because I think he's a con. But his people, the ones he called his people, like unenda kufanya nini? They still work to be done here for their sake because he's called them. Because Raila is one of the biggest tribal leaders, by the way. Msijidanganye. Just because he's got one extra region, doesn't mean he's not the biggest tribalist when it comes to collecting people. Anything happens, he runs to Nyanza. Kimbia uko na dance now, forgetting about the coastal people. Kuna celebration, anakimbia Nyanza. Watoto wa Gen Z wakiulio, I've not seen him in one single funeral. Anakaa hakuna kuchangia watoto wakiuliwa, hata watu wa ODM wa chini. Yes, we did want him to win at one point because of we are not like that. It's right. That's correct. Trust me. We don't we don't judge a community like I know. Sorry, Kenya Revolution, as it had happened in the channel before with Lex. We don't do that. By the way, that part of it, Kenya Revolution, as Kales, it's private. You know that. Have you ever heard Kales talk about that? It's very private.
About what? About what?
What Alex told you. That is why. That is why for Raila, it's very private and personal to our community. We don't talk about it. So even me, when I heard Alex saying it, it was a bit embarrassing. So that is why we could vote for Raila. We don't care. Let me finish. Can we start thinking like Kenyans and forget about these roles? Because right now we're hearing Raila is going to be Prime Minister of Kenya from 2025 to 2027. The Ruto has handed over the legislation to ODM, not Azimio, to ODM. ODM is going to get majority. Speaker sijui atapatikana wapi. It might be a Kale or whatever it is, but trust you me, the legislation has been sold to ODM to cool down the waters. Raila might get to be prime minister, tunaanza kuchezewa games by the way. So those guys who are hoping for the AUC job, Ruto to lose, Raila to lose the AUC job so that Raila can come back to do the opposition's nonsense, you komoto. Raila has got seasons. This is his seasons ya kukula before election. This is his season ya kukula. Hii ni ile season atasema tanyamaza, we nipatie pesa, nipatie vyeo, siku za elections tutamenyana. But in the meantime, this is my season for eating. And I'm sorry, Kenyans who are expecting otherwise. This guy is going to con you. For the next 2 years, atakula huko, bread-based government, mutapiga kelele vile mnataka, but he's going to do nothing for you. That is a fact. Whether he was in the AUC or whether he's back here at home, it was going to make no out of a difference for any of you Kenyans. So msahau kitu ingine. So the thing that I want Kenyans to think about this, and I know Revolution, Rebel, you're going to slightly disagree with me here. Think about regional development. When I say regional development, for now, think about your MCAs, think about your MPs who will go and represent you nationally, and think about your governor. Make sure your governors work for you. Make sure that there's development in your regions. Then we can forget about this presidency nonsense. Make sure that devolution works. That's the main thing, devolution. If you guys, you start thinking and making sure that the leaders that you elect in these regions of yours work. Forget about the presidency. If those leaders for you, I want you guys to have visits with your governors. I want you guys to have visits with the MCAs, because those guys are directly, you know where they are. Forget about MPs. Work on your devolution thing. Because you can see these people are going to play games with us for forever. MPs and the senators, all you can make sure is that they send money to devolution. Make money come down to the ground. That's it. We want more schools. We want more hospitals. That is it. Because You're already hearing oh, it was not Ruto's fault, you to lose election. We did a good job. Wongo. He's got Raila is a coward. He's been caught by the kahunas. He spent so much money, a lot of our money through Ruto that he cannot leave. He's stuck. So when you're gonna go, me, I wanted him to lose because I was bitter with him. That is why I'm celebrating him. Mine is, by the rebel, mine is bitterness. I was not
okay. Unless you're open about your feelings.
Hapa akiniuliza sijui nimekusaidia nini, I am bitter and I'm very happy. This is the best day of my life. This guy has watched our children die. Blood. Hata kuna jenzi, hakuna funeral ya jenzi moja alienda. Hakuna hata funeral ya ODM soldiers alienda. Anaendanga tu kwa watu wakubwa because the rest of us are below him. We are useless. I've seen him look at us. He looks down on us like nothing. So nimefurahi sana amelose hii shenzi.
Thank you. Umetoa kwa kifua kweli kweli. I see one Karara. Karibu sana, and thank you for turning your camera on. Jared, I know you didn't get the memo. I'll give you a pass because wewe ni mheshimiwa. But next time, tafadhali, put that camera on. Nowadays, I'll demand camera because you know what? I've been attacked so much and I want to see people's faces. So if I trace you, I'll trace you. My personal investigator, wajue huu ni nani and all that stuff. But anyway, karibu sana. Karibu sana, Jared. Tupatie maoni yako, then we'll go to Karara, who also is waiting on the wings. He's ready, burning, ready to give us his view about the loss of Raila Odinga, how he lost, how that may mean for Kenya, and anything you want to share with us, whether we are to blame, I don't know who or whatever. Yeah. Karibu sana, Jared. Karibu.
Oh, how are you? How are you, Kip? Hi, how are you, my brother? Oh, yesterday, I remember I told you that Raila Odinga is now a shadow of his former self. This is not the Raila Odinga that, we are used to since 2007. He's a shadow of his former self. And yesterday, I told you that irrespective of whether he'll join William Ruto or try to churn his own political future, the die is cast, as far as is concerned, and he could have attained his diminishing return. And I also remember telling you that, he can redeem himself by doing what my brother Njiru was saying, joining the progressive force and becoming a backbencher. Then, by doing that, you'll have, reclaimed, his legacy in a way. But where things stand, Raila Odinga is a shadow of his former self. Is coming to Kenya, not the Raila that we used to know, because even politically, on the political scale, Raila Odinga, on the political scale, the weight has gone down, and it has gone down very, very, very fast. I remember yesterday telling you that, if Raila Odinga was to run, and, there are people who are telling him that he should run in 2027. If he was to run in 2027, I told you yesterday that he would be lucky to get 3 million votes. He would be very, very lucky to get 3 million votes. I listened to William Samoei Ruto, yesterday after the loss, as he was addressing the Kenyan congregation. You remember that the entire battalion that went to Addis Ababa, Ethiopia yesterday. So he was addressing them and he said that, that Africa has lost. Then I was asking myself, what has Africa lost? I believe that in the Djibouti man, Africa must have gained, because the Djibouti man is a career diplomat. He was an ambassador for 10 years. Then he has been foreign affairs minister for the last 20 years. So he has accumulatively 30 years in the diplomatic circle. Unlike Raila Odinga, who is in his entire life has been a pure politician. So to say that, Africa has lost, I did not know what William Samoei Ruto said that, Africa's lost. And again, it's a time, I feel them, I feel where they are coming from, having invested heavily in Raila Odinga, and for Raila Odinga to have lost, and especially from a person from a small country, people purport that, it is the size of Turkana. I don't know whether it's true that Djibouti is the size of Turkana. It could be embarrassing in a way, and that's why they are trying to save their faces by, coming up with all manner of stories. They are coming up with all manners of stories, to say that, Raila was the best candidate ever, and, that, Africa, by not having elected Raila Odinga, it lost. But where I stand, I don't see where Africa lost, Africa gained. If there is any person who lost, in this particular contest was William Samoei Ruto. Because, William Samoei Ruto was scheming, to export Raila Odinga out of Kenya so that he can have a field day in Kenya. But, things flopped yesterday, and, they will be returning together with Raila Odinga to this country, where they will now have to deal with the people of Kenya here. So, moving forward, what is there for William Samoei Ruto? Things are not going to be very easy for William Samoei Ruto going forward. You saw in Kondele already there was chance of, Ruto must go.
Yes.
Yesterday there was chance of, Ruto must go, which means, he did not fulfill, as far as, Raila Odinga stronghold is concerned, William Samoei Ruto never fulfilled, his part of the bargain. I remember them saying, there was this joke they were peddling around that, they never cared that even if William Samoei Ruto was to auction Kenya, the entire Kenyan country, so long as Raila Odinga, became the president, the chairperson of the African Union Commission. So as far as, his side of the bargain is concerned, William Samoei Ruto never met his part of the bargain. Then how will it, how are the Raila stronghold, how is the Raila Odinga stronghold going to take it, I don't think that, they're going to take it very easily. They are wounded because, there's that pride that could have come with, Raila Odinga, chairman, African Union Commission. There was some pride in it. If Raila Odinga won, and now where we stand, they have been deflated. The pride is not there. The pride is not there. Now, what is likely to happen? We are back to reset, which means, the people of Kondele yesterday, you heard them say that, Ruto must go. So I don't know. I don't know how it will play out, but, it's not going to be very, very easy. I've heard Kip say that, that perhaps, William Samoei Ruto might decide to mortgage parliament to Raila Odinga to cool the steam. I don't know how well it will play out, by mortgaging, I mean by ensuring that, ODM, and Azimio La Umoja become the majority in parliament. Then perhaps they find a way of removing, Speaker Wetangula and finding their own person to become the speaker. I don't know how it will play out, because by also doing that, you'll be setting up fire in the other end. You cannot be setting up, purporting to be putting up a fire when you're setting up another fire. So if you remove Wetangula and you want now to mortgage parliament to Raila Odinga and have Raila Odinga as person of the Speaker of the National Assembly, the Wetangula's people will also say mnatutumia. Na kama ni kututumia basi pia tutalipisha. So William Samoei Ruto, where he stands is between a rock and a hard place. I don't know how he's going to play his politics going forward, but it's not going to be very, very, very easy. It's not going to be very, very easy. Having opened many, many battlefronts, and now, his project in Addis Ababa having flopped, I don't know how he's going to play his ball. But, where I stand, things are going to be very hard for William Samoei Ruto. They are very, if this was a game of chess, I don't play that game. But, I don't know if it was that game. I don't know how it could have been played. But where things stand for William Samoei Ruto, you're saying?
No, I'm saying if it was a game of check, we'll be screaming checkmate to him because
okay, you call it checkmate. Okay,
yes,
so because things are not going to be easy at all. They are not going to be easy, and coupled with Rigiji, you saw the statement by Rigathi Gachagua. He said that Africa needed Raila Odinga but Kenya needed Raila Odinga more. That's what Rigathi Gachagua was saying, which means that in a way, Rigathi Gachagua could also be courting Raila Odinga. So, we are dealing, we are likely to be faced with a very, very complex situation, moving forward. I don't want to talk for a very long time because we have a guest here. Let me just stop there and we perhaps allow him to also say something.
All right. Thank you. One, Karara, karibu sana. Please make sure you have subscribed, Karara. This is the first time I'm seeing you, so tafadhali make sure you subscribe now, like the video. But karibu sana. Thank you for putting your camera on. So yes, what's your view of what's going on? What's your reaction and anything you want to talk about? Karibu sana. Endelea.
Unanipata vizuri?
Na kupata vizuri.
So, the name is Karara.
Yes.
Nilianza kuwatch last year time ya maandamano.
Oh, okay. Karibu.
Yeah.
Asante.
So, but kwa Keep na Njiro, mimi si mgeni kwao. Kuna mahali tumetoana wakati ile uchaguzi mwingine. Kuna mahali tumetoana nao wawili. So tulikuwa tunapigia mzee debe. Tukaenda vile kulienda.
Ongeza volume kidogo.
Unasikia vizuri?
Nakusikia. Volume ndio ongeza kidogo.
Na saije?
Hiyo poa.
Kuna kukaenda vile nilienda na we had to accept.
Right.
So years down the line, vijana we came up with whatever we came up with last year. Na ilikuwa shock sana kuona mzee ametufanya vile alitufanyia. So mi nilibeba hiyo kitu kwa moyo, nikaibeba kwa moyo, nikajua siku yako pia nayo itafika. So when AU thing came around, I was like, this guy had to pay. To concur with Keep amesema Raila hajawahi onekana kwa mazishi hata ya mtu mmoja ambaye amekufa kwa maandamano yake. Na hiyo ndo swali mimi hujiuliza. How come mtu watu uliwa at his expense, yet hata familia haezi enda kutembelea hata moja. Na yet wakati damu umwagwa ndio yeye upata cheo mahali. Yeye anakuanga tu amengojea kitu ifanyike aingilie. Na last year niko very sure aliumwa kuona Gen Z wameingia bunge bila yeye. So lazima angefanya jambo. But sisi hatukujua jambo yake itakutoa kutusaliti. So mimi niliona niliwataka kwanza ashindwe vibaya sana. Na nilifurahi tena sana zaidi.
Haya. Maoni mazuri hayo. Haya. Dania anasema yeye amefurahia sana kwa sababu, and that's what I was saying too, nilikuwa nasema huyu jamaa every time watu wanakufa, he promises people will go to, ataenda State House, mara sijui server itafunguliwa, then anatuchorea differently, all of a sudden unasikia sijui anaenda AU and nothing, watu wamekufa, no one was even, he doesn't even honor the people who died kwa sababu aliwaambia watu okay. So at least now he did the same thing in 2017. Now he's doing the same thing he did the same thing in 2022. So imefika Wakenya wamerevuka sawa, nasema mzee bana, that was kama imekuja ikabite ikasema ai chali, enough is enough. So like Wangira said, Ruto is in a hard place, and Raila also, I think his time is up. I don't know how he will reinvent himself. Maybe ajaribu kujifanya yeye ni mtu wa akona Gen Z tena, but no one will buy that because they've seen his conmanship for a long time. But anyway, it's been an hour 43 minutes. I'm sorry today I had to be ni Sunday, kesho watu narudi job. So I'll give you the last word, Jerome Wangira. Then Karara pia ukitaka kumaliza, if you have something to finish with, ni sawa. Wangira, you can give your last statement before I funga duka. And please guys, like and share, subscribe and do all that good stuff. You'll like iende ifike 20 at least. Now subscribe, come up, subscribe so you get the notification every time I come in. Tuendelee. Yes.
Anyway, as I close, beginning today is Monday here in Kenya. We will be watching to see, what type of new lies William Samoei Ruto and Raila Odinga will be coming up with. Because where we stand, we don't know. We don't see anything new that, they are going to offer. So, we'll be waiting to see if there will be any new lies that they will be coming up with. That would be perhaps, my closing remarks.
Okay, Karara.
Let me finish by saying, unanipata vizuri?
Yeah, nakupata.
There's this guy niliona ni shabiki wa Raila. So over the weekend he said that Raila hupenda power bila responsibility. Yeye utaka kuona hiyo influence na coercion bila repercussions zozote. Yani unaweza control masses but hautaki wewe kuwajibika. So I think ni high time to move away from mzee ameshika hii nchi hostage for far too long. Plus the guy is 80 years old. Yeah?
Okay, now it's good. Yeah.
Unapata?
Yes, nakupata. Endelea.
The guy is 80 years old. As in, wewe umeishi life. Wewe hakuna kitu hujaona.
Right.
Sioni kitu kingine nitafuta. Mi hata AU uliona venye alikuwa anatembea huko kama Biden ana drug. As in, ajua niliona unanipata?
That's true. Hata kuna pali Ruto alikuwa anamwambia, "Hey, ingia huko." You see that?
Unaona ni mtu anatupa coordination pole, unaona? So kuna jamaa kuna audio imelik leo ama jana. Mwethiopia fulani hapo alikuwa anasema ati vile tulienda kubehave huko ili annoy sana wa Ethiopia. The residents of Ethiopia.
Yeah.
Tumeenda kutake over nchi ya wenyewe. So the heads of state walikuwa wanatuangalia tu. Wanajiuliza kama hivi ndio huwa mna behave kwenyu. Na tukiwapatia kiti mtatutreat aje sisi. Wakenya we have a certain type of entitlement ambayo ni mbaya sana. Na itatucost.
Yeah.
So nitamalizia tu na hiyo.
Yeah, I'm glad uleta hiyo point. Yeah, hiyo Ethiopia, I think I have it on my X whatever. I just had that clip on my X, so mkifuatilia huko mtaiona hiyo clip. Njiru, naona umerudi, sijui utafungua duka ama namna gani? Njiru huko bado? Sisi tunafunga duka hapa, tunaweza tufahamia huko kwako.
Mimi nilikuwa nimesema mimi
utafungua duka by the way.
Ngoja. Unanisikia?
Nakusikia.
Sifungui saa hii, ni leo nimeamua tu niende tu kwa mashow za wase. I will be live kesho, maybe ama pengine nikimaliza sherehe yangu naweza ingia. So mimi saa hii nikanyama.
Twende kwa Bernard hapa. Twende kwa Bernard tukasikie vile wanasema. Naona unapika.
Nikanyama yangu na kaanga hapa ya kucelebrate kifo cha Mende.
Ati twende kwa Bernard. Kwa Bernard saizi. Kwa Bernard saizi utafukuzwa.
Nilikuwa huko jana. Mimi unajuanga siogopangi. Mimi ni yule msee. Nilikuanga huko jana. Hata veje tu waliona tu smile nikapigwa blacklist haraka. You are handling dangerous goods. Kenya revolutionary. You are handling dangerous goods. Sasa mimi nilienda huko nikasema I'm a very proud citizen that Mr. Raila Odinga has lost, and that was my last and first statement.
Wewe afadhali walikuacha hata ukaingia. Sisi hata mimi hata nikichungulia tu ndio hiyo.
In fact mimi siku hizi hata ni kama meni blacklist, siwezi ona link yake.
No, in fact, let me tell you, and I want to declare it here. And I'm sorry, and it is so bad to say those things. Saudi Kadid is on their way to the end. They are dying. There is no in which they can massage and not allow people to. Anyway, I am not wishing them bad, but they are dying. They are dying. Very soon watakuanga tu na wase wawili hapo, makomentata wawili peke yao, Bernard na Mama Serena, na story inakuwa tu ni hivyo. That's how it is going to be, and we will never feel. They have even started accusing us.
Sabotage huko.
Wamesema mimi ndiye na haki station zao, na kipa akanichongoa, kipa akasema mimi ni ndanda, ati mimi hata sijui hata kuhack. Wewe keep, you will have to apologize bana. History ya kuniita ndanda kwa umma. Nimekataa bana. Imagine that keep anasema ati I cannot even ask a fry. That's what keep is saying, I cannot even ask a fry. Anyway.
Jiru Karara kuna maneno na yeye anakuuliza swali.
Okay, Karara niulize.
Niaje Njiru?
Jema kabisa.
Siku mingi sana.
Niambie.
Leo mnanichekesha, but you know that channel, it had potential, and you know he has a familiar face, changanya, but anyway, anajisabotage.
I'm not a prophet of doom bwana Karara, but wacha sasa niseme hapa wazi sasa. Sound candid, they are going nowhere. Hata Biblia inasema, because they are going against what the Bible says. The Bible says, cursed is a man who depends on another man. Ni Biblia inasema, sio mimi. Kulaaniwa ni yule mtu ambaye anategemea binadamu mwingine. You only rely on what is good and you rely on God. So a time of massaging the ego of Raila Odinga is done. And any person who wants to massage Raila Odinga ego ni hivi. Unaona vile Ruto anaisha. Ukikaribia Ruto anaisha. Ukikaribia Raila.
Njiru, there's something that you have forgotten. Shida ya Sound Candid Talk ilikuwa ni moja. Kwamba, you know, if you rely on tokens, where wale wanakutumia kakitu ndio wale unataka kupatia privilege, wale watumi kakitu unataka kuwa sabotage. That is the problem with Sound Candid Talk.
No, but we have many homes. Occasionally unaweza kuja hapa kwa Kenyan Revolutionary. Kwangu mimi na kuanga open, nafungua. Stony PK amefungua show ingine. We have more than enough shows. So people should not be worried. We have already 3 shows which you can come there and parrot. In my show, I don't care. You can come there and parrot. Unaweza kuja huko hata unitusi. I don't care. Unaweza kuja huko hata ukikuja uniambie bwana wacha kutusi baba. I don't care. You are free to come and tell me that. Lakini usikuja hapo sasa kuanzia kuniambia siwezi sema hivi. So bwana Kenyan Revolutionary, we have to be the people who will engineer freedom of speech in Kenya. And we cannot contain that. Tuwezi sema hii huwezi guza, hii guza.
Yes.
Kama ni kitu ni mbaya, and we have to talk seriously about it. And these channels have to grow, because by 2027 tunataka mtu yote ambaye anatupita vibaya tutakuwa tunawaanika mbaya sana. So your channel has to grow, my channel has to grow, Brother Benson has to grow, kila mtu they have to grow. People who are having the pride of Kenya. But hatuwezi kuwa, let me tell you, the stress and the problems zile ambazo Raila Odinga ametupitishia, we do not want another human being to use the same path kukuja kutuenjoy hivyo. Raila Odinga has enjoyed us for 40 years. He is the last man to do it in Kenya. He is the last man to let me tell you, Raila Odinga has wasted my father. He has wasted my father. Huko kutoka 80s to my father, Odinga. Alafu sasa mimi nikakuja nikachukulia. Then sasa nipitishie watoto wangu. Never. It has to stop. Nisimalizia hapo. Mzee kuja huko kuongea watu wengine mabaya.
Njeru, before kabla mjafunga, I am sorry to hear that your father was part of, you know, the original Raila group.
But that guy has seriously wasted my family. Hata ukituona hapa wengine wetu tuko hapa, it is the number of days which the rockcast has eaten. Sijui kama mnajua maana kwa Biblia, some of us nzige zimetukula sana. The number of days the rockcast have eaten, lakini hakuna shida. Gezuke negedudoku. The storm is coming back.
Pole Jiru, pole. Aya, sawa basi. Aya. Anyway, I'll be here tomorrow depending on what's happening. Najua leo ni usiku kwa Kenya. So thank you very much Njiru. Fungua duka twende tukazungumze huko. Thank you sana nani Karara for also joining us. I'm glad kumbe umeshakuwa ukifuatilia. Nice seeing you brother. Subscribe na mweke hiyo ninio button na Njiru vile Mama Selena alikwambia uache kukuninio kuhack kwa nini. Jared, thank you so much for being part of it. Skip and everyone else, Kenny Ban.
Yeah, wewe nitakuhack. Wewe tucheza na mimi.
Najua umeshani hack already. Najua umeshani hack already. Lakini ni sawa. Nitadeal na wewe vile nitadeal na yeye tu. Anyway, guys, thank you so much. I have to leave it there. Thank you so much for everyone who was here. Nani Gypsy Corner for also the nini
ngoja hiyo dakika 5 ishe. Naona it is 1:55. Allow hiyo dakika 5 ishe. Wacha Joan Karara ongee dakika 1 na mimi niongee ingine. Wacha tufunge na masaa 2.
Ashaondoka. Karara ameshaenda kulala. Kenya ni usiku bwana.
Okay, ni sawa. Wewe funga basi, ni sawa, nimeshukuru. Kuwa na jioni njema, natumia kile unatumianga.
By the way, nitatafuta Stone PK, sijapata channel yake, nitaenda kwa channel yake ni nini? Unajua Stone PK pia na washanga moto. So
na pia utafute Alex. I want to hear your debate with Alex.
Alex akona channel?
Next time nitamrushia link akuja hapa.
Alex
wa violence
Alex haizangi debate. Alex ni makelele tu. Ni una matusi. Lakini anytime anaweza kunidebate.
Unajua no. Alex has been in an interface of shock kidogo because the rate at which Baba deteriorated was too high. So mimi nilimuelewa. So unajua bana hiyo kuporomoka ya Baba venye Baba aliporomoka it was extreme. So saa zingine hata mimi I was not believing to come into terms like yani within a span of like 2 years jamaa anaporomoka papa. Yani unajua jamaa ameporomoka kama nyumba ya matope man. So I understand Alex, so pia wewe urumia Alex na nitawashikanisha. And Alex you can be wonderful friends. Na muache hiyo maneno.
Actually, Jiru, you know what's funny? Alex was one of the first person kukuja kwa hii channel.
And it has to remain that way. Hatuwezi kuwa hapa we are talking about Kaongo and then nyinyi watu mnataka kuachana. Wewe na Alex you have to be together.
Mimi sina shida na yeye akuje apologize mbele ya umati ya watu. Mimi nishamforgive.
Apologize. Wewe hapana bana. Wacha kuambia Alex apologize bana. Wewe unajua bana, you have to understand Alex is ego is a little bit pale juu. Wewe tu acha tu Alex tu akuje hivyo. Wewe tu kubali ameapologize na mdomo. Hata kama kwambii.
Paka seme publicly. Paka publicly. What is done in secret paka seme publicly. Alafu tutawacha hiyo maneno na tutaendelea mbele. Mimi sina shida na Alex. Hata anaweza kuja kwa hii channel. He has been here. Alex is a good debater. Ni tu naogopa saa nyingine akitolewa point kali gets emotional. But anyway, asanteni sana. Nani Jiru, endelea na hiyo kazi ya kunihack wewe. Nitaona wewe. Anyway, thank you so much Joan Karara, nitaona baadaye. Thank you guys for being part of it. Fungua duka Jiru, tukuje huko tupige makelele. Haya, Ani, WS Bank and everybody else, thank you so much. I'm out. Peace and blessings.